Alright guys, so a couple of guys wanted to see the mods that I made to the survival tin, and I mean, my preferred carry just for what I'm doing around here is with the survival sling and the compass and my paste beads, this clip so that you can clip it off to your belt loop if you want to secure it a little higher up on the back of your shoulders. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I've done. I'll get to the tin in a second, but basically I've left the asylum stick on this side and just put a tactical flashlight on this side. Some guys are putting strobes, but this is what I had, and I thought that I would go with this for right now. It's pretty durable, and some of the strobes that you're getting, the plastic sheath ones that would fit in here, would have a tendency to break or snap. The aluminum cigar tubes have a tendency to ding really easily. So I'm going to go with this for right now. On the front of the sheath, I just put a large beaner, which comes in handy in a lot of cases. It's not in the way, and you can use it. On the back, at this point, I've got a couple of Ranger bands with an old Steri Pen Journey case. The case is going to hold my Frontier filter. I just ordered another one. It's going to be coming in, and I'm going to be leaving it on the back. I just thought that putting it in the tin, it committed too much space in the tin to it, so I'm probably going to be sticking with that. One thing that I also did with the sheath, and that I figured out is, of course, when you're actually drawing this blade out, you're gonna want to just wrap this behind so that you don't keep cutting the strap. Once you wrap it to the other side, you're fine with that. And as you can see, the stitching here is on a diagonal, so it's pretty much made for you to get it out of the way before you draw. There's a small compartment right here that you can probably slide in like a 1-quart Ziploc bag. I have a couple of produce bags in the kit, so what I decided to do was, there's an empty space, and if you right on the side of even after you put the blade back in, you've got a little pocket in there. So what I decided to do is, I had this crochet needle that I used to work on passing some survival cord through the slings, and I just cut it to length, sharpened up one end, and left the hook portion on the other. I mean, this is just a piece of metal that you can improvise for anything. So you've already got a point for stabbing or for using as an awl, and you've got this other lip here that you can also use to in its intended purpose to weave stuff through the survival cord, or actually to pick up the survival tin. If you got a little wire on top of the tin, you can use this to lift the tin out of the fire instead of just using the wire to hang it from a twig or something. So it's space that's here, and you might as well use it. I think you could probably roll up a water bag if you wanted to, but I'm just thinking that you could get something a little long, and in a survival situation you might have a need for another stiff piece of metal like this, and that hook keeps it from going in, so you can get at it pretty quickly. Just thought that was a good idea. So the tin itself, on the outside of the tin, I just packed in one of your smaller Mylar survival blankets. Fits right kind of on the indent and right into the pouch. So that's that. Now, once we got inside the tin here, I've thought about this quite a bit, of taking stuff in, taking it out, taking it in, taking it out, and what we've got right now is this bundle right here. What I did recently take out was a small multi-tool, and I found that I didn't need everything that was in the multi-tool. The only thing that I really couldn't improvise was the pliers. And the only thing I was really going to use the pliers for was lifting this tin up, probably. And you've got wire to make a wire bail. Now you've got that small awl that's inside the sheet that I just showed you, and you can lift this off the fire, no problem. Unless you suspend it from you know, a piece of wire and hang it from a twig, you can do that as well. So I mean, this is not the best kit. This is what I came up for myself, what I thought were priorities for where I live and where I may be, as opposed to, and believe me, I've taken things in and out, and I think this is my final mod. So I've got the original brass snare wire. I threw in another stainless steel snare that actually came out of my Victor II survival knife. They had 5 snares in there. I threw one in here. I thought about taking the saw out, but this will double as you know, cordage, wire. You can use this as the bail. You can use it as a saw. Kept the rings too, because you can attach this to and hang a number of different items from it and use it in many different ways. I added a piece of guitar wire that I had. It's pretty strong and multiple uses again. A little bit stiffer than some of these other snares in here. Some water purification tablets, portable agua. Kept the salt tab in just because it didn't take up much room, and it's possible that there may be a need for it. Kept the other ring. Threw in a mini Bic. Kept the matches. There's tons of fire making ability in here because of where we are in New England and the cold winters. I want to make sure that I have a few different ways to start fire. I took out the original fire starter and added one that was a little thicker, and smashed the handle off with a hammer basically to get it off. It's a little bit thicker and a little better, throws a little better spark than the one that came with it. I've got this survival cord that has a break strength of 450 pounds. I think there's about 30 feet or so here, just a lot thinner diameter than paracord, so it fits in nicely and is still very strong. Still got the condom for the water carrying. I kept the pencil in as well. I added a small light, Princeton Tech Pulsar 2. What I did was put a small key ring over the light switch, because if you apply pressure to that area, of course, you're going to turn it on and kill the battery. This way you get a built-in safety while it's in the kit, and you can use the keyring in a survival situation. For additional cordage and really strong thread for sewing, for sutures, for fishing, for anything, I threw in this waxed dental floss. To me, there's so much of it here, and it's so strong and so thin that I feel that this would be something that I'm going to want to have with me. Got the tampon that's vacuum packed with a small Ranger band that can double as tinder or a Ranger band. The original compass that came with it. These are produce bags, no zippers, which I prefer because they're just they pack easier. Usually those zippers get deformed when you keep them in a case like this, and when you go to use them, they're not working anyways. So these are thinner. You can still put boiling water in them. You got your wire ties that'll serve for various purposes. I upgraded their fishing kit by putting in hooks that would apply more to my area, for a couple of them that will be used for saltwater use, some swivels, and I upgraded the line to, I think it was a 20-pound test line, just in case. I added, I think we've got about 15 or 20 feet of Gorilla Tape. I kept the original safety pins, but thought that they were not large enough for what I may be using, so I got these larger ones, and these are something that, you know, if you're on the coast, you can even use these to pull snails out of their shells, like periwinkles in the salt water in a survival situation where you have to eat that, and there's a million other uses. Again, because of all the fire starting ability I want to have on me, I've got 2 pierogies that are vacuum sealed, and that's you know, sure to start and keep burning for probably 8 minutes each. Got a large sewing needle. I took their sewing kit out and got rid of it. Just didn't think it was going to work. And I've got a larger needle, so I can use the dental floss as thread if I needed to, or for anything else for that matter. I also added the P38, just another tool to throw in here. It actually fits, doesn't take up much space. If you do come across cans, they just open them up so much more easily, and having taken out the multi-tool, I wanted to have a couple of other options. For another blade, I packed a utility blade that you can add a handle to with a Gorilla Tape or whatever and manufacture you know, another blade. The razor blades take up no space and very little weight, so I opted to carry 2 of these. and I cut down a hacksaw blade, and I got a pretty beefy one, because if you are going to be using something on metal, why skimp and get something that's not going to work when you need it? So I've got that there, and that can double with anything else. You can use this to pry, you can take stuff off the fire. It's just going to be nice to have if you really need it. This is something I got from Nick over at 2 Car Garage. He threw this in as a free gift with a purchase I made from him, and given the size of it, I figured I might as well have it in here. It's really flat. You've got a couple of different options there on using it for different nuts. Just a handy thing to have, and it takes up very little space. So I threw it in the bottom. I also threw in something to sharpen my blade up with. This is one of those diamond credit card size sharpeners. What else do we have in here? We've got a Fresnel lens for fire starting ability. Again, another option. And this is part of what came with the kit. This is I guess they would call it a pastings kit. In lieu of having bandages and regular band-aids, lots of other parts of the world, they sell the tape. They sell the adhesive, like an orange adhesive tape with holes poked in it, which looks like the outside of a band-aid, and then you add your gauze to the middle of that tape, and if you want to waterproof it, they give you a clear waterproofing tape that goes over that. So you cut the bandage to the size that you want, you cut the tape to the needs that you have, and you've got this clear tape to put on the outside. And the backing to the tape also has a kind of a waxed paper, which will double as your writing pad with your pencil. So that's what I've decided to put in my tin. It's a fantastic tin. I think the U.S. Air Force is turning to this. The Brits are the ones that I guess used this and made this originally. Super strong. Alright guys, that's my I guess they call it the BCB survival tin, and that's what I opted to put in there. The multi-tool was in for a while, and I just don't see me using the chintzy blade, the chintzy scissors, when I've got utility blade and some razor blades that are just much better than that. As far as an improvised pliers, I guess I'll have to make do with the with this small survival card for loosening nuts or whatever, improvising some type of leverage to get at something like that. But I don't see myself really needing the pliers at this time, and I think for survival purposes, this would get me through. All right, guys, safe trails, peace.